All right. Howdy, howdy. Good morning. Woo, daddy. Crazy ass Fridays. Ooh, oh yeah, wow, it's fucking nutso Friday. Hey, dog, you gotta have to hold up on that. What you're doing down there? Oh yeah. Hope y'all are doing well. God bless you, man. It is. I don't know. It's well, things are moving along. I guess you could say. I'll go up to the court today and become administrator of Bill's stuff out here. Um, that really matter? I don't know. Any little money he has or whatever, I think the court actually goes to his dad, his living relative. As his dad wanted, I don't know. But yeah, lots of shit going down, going round, all sideways. But stop, stop, dog. But I did get his Bill's Grant's death certificate and his ashes. Yeah, the estate already cremated Bill. Um, not long after he passed. Um, but anyway, he may have taken care of all that. I asked them to take care of all that too. I don't know. He was he had to be in control till he was out of this world. God bless him, man. But I still would go to the doctor. Go to the doctor if you're feeling bad. If you're starting to feel ill, even if you don't like it, go find out what really is going on. That's the moral of that story because I think Bill Grant would still be here because we'd hit that thing with ivermectin and bendazole and Panicure. Um, he'd have been on horsey paste. Um, but yeah, that's one thing he never really asked for, which I don't know why. But anyway, oh man, we let me get over here, check Rev Radio, see what we got. We're in a bumper. Got one probably a minute and a half till the break comes back. And man, I am telling you. So yeah, where in the heck is? Oh, that's just Donald Trump. Donald Trump says we have to have a ballroom on. We have to have a ballroom on at the White House. Okay, because now because we don't, I have to. I have to build this MMA fighting rink and auditory setup. I mean, what the fuck? Okay, Don, give me a break, okay? Donald Trump wants to have a MMA fight on the White House lawns. Yeah, I mean, this is idiocracy. This is right up this fucking retard alley, man. I mean, I'm sorry, but is that an appropriate venue? The fucking White House. Rev Radio's not even on yet. We're in the middle of the fucking of the intro. But yeah, what the fuck is wrong with these motherfuckers? I mean, Donnie, what up? What up, Donnie? Are you ready? Because here we go. Yeah, yeah. Good morning, everybody. I'm just kicking it in just a few seconds early, and here we go. Come on down. It's time for crazy ass Fridays on the Revolution in the Morning show. Come on down and join us and get the straight truth, not that mainstream media mind fucking. Yeah, if you ever get humped, if you ever tired, just listen to ABC, NBC, CBS, fake Fox News, and your brain will be getting screwed just in a hot second, man. Those guys don't even have foreplay in the mainstream propaganda media. They don't even whisper nice in your ear. Yeah, they just want to stick it in your rear. These motherfucking pieces of shit, the mainstream bullshit machine, our political system run by what? By a fucking government psyop. Yeah, I mean, really, the Mockingbird media is all of the media today. You should realize that by now. If you don't, well, maybe if you hear the rumor, you might decide to check it out. But hey, what would I know, man? I mean, I'm just saying. The fucking retardation nations, and I say nations because this is worldwide. I thought that the fucking third world was fucking brainless. Okay, I thought they didn't have a fucking a brain cell to stand on. Okay, like in South Africa, where they're finally getting around for the Constitutional Court to ask about the farm gate, where President Rambosa down there in South Africa, where the great Hunter Biden just went back home with his wifey. Yeah, his wifey's from South Africa. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, maybe the cocaine is more plentiful there. But yeah, the burning and the slaughtering and the murdering of thousands of what? Of white farmers who have lived in South Africa for hundreds of years. I mean, really, it's idiocracy. Okay, considering the tribal state of the political situation in South Africa, I can just think of one word that will describe it. No, three words. Three words to describe it accurately: barely, severely fucked. Okay, that's South Africa. Okay. Meanwhile, if you go north into in across the Mediterranean Sea, yeah, some people called it an ocean. Uh, Used to be an empty valley until, well, the Atlantic Ocean swallowed it up. But regardless, countries like Germany has been busted big time as they have decided that well, brainwashing is the way to go. After they've watched the rest of the world, they've watched the United States of America, they've watched Canada, you know, the nice, gentle, polite Canadian people that are too polite to tell the socialist, communist motherfuckers, get the fuck out of my business and out of my country. But anyway, in Germany, there has been a secret leak. Okay, a leak. Somebody's leaking. Oh my. Yeah. Where are we at here? Just bump, bump. Anyway, here it is. Okay, I'm sorry. I had to scroll down a little bit. Didn't know it was that far from the zone. But anyway, the leak exposes Germany forcing social media to post state propaganda and to rank state propaganda as, verified, whatever, and anything else is going to be what? They're going to bury dissent. If you stand and say, "Oh, no, that's not something that we can say, and that's not something that we can do," sorry. No, this is the new communist state. Okay, this socialist state that excuse me, this socialist state that wants to control your mind. And by controlling what you hear and what you see, they can define what is real and not real in this matrix of reality that they're trying to create. This is the thing that despots and fucking bastards have been doing throughout history. And that is why we have natural rights, not rights coming from fucking government as Kane, Timmy Kane from here in Virginia, the fucking corrupted senator says, well, that's, oh my God, you say they come from the magical God? Yeah, that's the same person that would suck up to a Muslim or a Jew, not just for money, but for what? Oh, well, we really respect your religion and we really respect this and that. The only thing these guys respect is the money. Okay. Um, these guys are today, our politicians are just corrupted to the core. Okay. Tim Kaine is one of them. All right. And, because the information revolution is still on and is still happening, we are still at war. Just because, here in the United States, there has been a temporary reprieve by social media companies that are handcuffed from literally banning and censoring people because of their political viewpoints and the truth that they speak. Because, well, the worst truth is an inconvenient truth. So yeah, it is crazy. So understand that these new AI algorithms, will boost reliable and trusted mainstream news outlets and media, mainstream mind controlling propaganda, versus the bare naked truth, which is often called disinformation. This is just an insidious manipulation of your mind. Yes, they do mind about what you think in your mind. And they will, well, let's just say, tell you what to think in your mind. J.D. Vance says Trump is not ready to approve the Iranian deal yet, citing distance on the nuclear issue. Of course, Pakistan and Iran want to send the uranium ore to China. Now the question is, will China refine it and give it back to Iran in the form of a workable nuclear weapon, or will they just use it like the U.S. Would do and seize and sell and appropriate, or what would they call that? Expropriate. Anyway, they would, let's just say, they would steal it. They would pirate the uranium as fast as they could. The United States, no different than they have oil tankers and other places and other peoples of the world. Okay. If we have to realize that the United States is acting like that tyrant. They've become the bully because they claim they're trying to protect everybody from everybody or from whatever. So yeah. Oh man. Well, here is clear evidence that you're being brainwashed in 6 different ways to Sunday, and you don't know it. Do you take fat body drugs? Do you take GLP, probiotic, whatever, whether it's on the shelf, off the shelf, top the shelf, or Chinese shelf? Do you get it shipped in from Amazon and say, it's all good? particularly if you've gone through, like one of those, do you breathe? Yes, okay, you qualify for it. Examinations by a fucking doctor. And then they charged Medicaid, Medicare $1,000 for that. But that's the Somali way, I guess. But here's the thing, okay? Anti-obesity drugs, these GLP drugs, okay? You should be aware. Awareness. I gotta say it 3 times for all the men out there in the world, because when they walk by a fucking club, it says XXX. Wow, what's that? Girls. You got to tell them 3 times, but you got to tell a woman from here to eternity. That's my that's my social philosophy when it comes to explaining shit. Okay. Oh God, this ain't going right. But anyway, listen. There's a doctor that they were given. They had given a bunch of people these GLP drugs. Okay, and this guy was doing brain scans, to see what parts of the brain were activated and what was thinking, and to see what's going on inside the brain, right? Uh, you know, the GLP drugs, the fat body drugs, they are changing people's brain patterns and their thinking. Okay, I've got to find this story because it was really it was interesting, because just bear with me on my thinking here, because what was happening was the brain was creating new connections. Okay, just as and whether you know this or not, I don't, and whether you want to check it out and debunk it or not, that's okay, I don't care. But when your brain is damaged, when your brain is hindered or whatever, when your brain will actually find a way around the blockage if it can. Okay, but if you smoke marijuana and you insulate the neuron endings with tetrahydrocannabinol, molecules, um, that your brain will actually build more connections. And what they have found when you take these GLP drugs, that your brain goes in and builds other connections, and they're still not sure how it changes people's thinking. Okay, they're not sure what it actually does to the human, and how we think and what it is, or if it's going to cause some kind of imbalance, or they don't know. It is one of these unintended consequences of putting drugs in your body that even the pharmaceuticals say it's okay. Yeah, I'm just like, what the really? Come on, man. I was like kind of shocked by it, in all honesty, because I didn't. Wow, I was like, damn, really? That's just surprise to me. Hey, if you were watching the news, you saw the big boom and splash. Blue Origin, Jeff Bezos' space rocket company, during a launch test. Let's just say it blew up on the on the launch pad. Okay, I mean, really. I do have some other clips here, but here's John. Oh God, it's the brainwashing, mind control platform of the world. The New York Times has it on the front page of their digital platform. It's like, really? Wow, check that out. Here it is. Here it is. Coming down. No, we got to
The data. There's too much of it.
That's okay. SAS via builds model.
Fuck you. Fuck you. I think I have it. I thought I had it on one of my other feeds, but it's just what the hell is wrong with people? Okay, I mean, I'm just saying. Anyway, so oh yeah, here it is. I knew I had it without commercials and without advertisements and all that other crap, right? So anyway, yeah. So wow, here's a clip. Here's a good clip. Here's a couple good clips of it from various angles without advertising from the mind from the CIA. Here's the first one. Look, oh, a little bit of fire. Yeah, look, everybody get their barbecue out. Oh, look at that, man. Hey, that's how my barbecue looked the other day, by the way. I mean, I was trying to get the fire going again, and I put too much wood in, and man, that son of a bitch just. I come back, I had to go somewhere, and I came back, and I said, God damn, it's 450 degrees in the smoker. Man, I'm like, trying to get it. You know, that's probably like the same thing they were doing. I'm just saying. Yes, Jeff Bezos says that all personnel are accounted for and safe. It's too early to know the root cause, what happened, but yeah, it blew the fuck up. That's what happened. So some people were sitting nearby watching it from a restaurant.
No, I don't think that's a rocket launch.
No, that's not a rocket launch. Hey, all right, she got it. It's not a rocket launch. Really? Hey, that's not too fucking good, is it? Meanwhile, this fucking matrix digital control grid that they're trying to roll out, and we need data centers, we need power, we need data centers, we need power. Jeez, mini Christmas. Yeah, the U.S. is to power base with a nuclear aircraft carrier. Oh, yeah. Gee, isn't that just good fucking news, right? Uh, the um, the Gerald R. Ford will export electricity from its two A1B reactors directly to the naval station in Norfolk, Virginia, powering the largest naval base in the world from a $13 billion supercarrier. Yeah, that's as it's sitting in the pier. Maybe that's another reason why the rotations are the way they are, where, they, what? They couldn't, did the data centers take all your power for the base? I have to ask. I mean, that's a question like, well, what could go wrong? Man, what could go wrong? Hey, here's one for you. What could go wrong, man? What could go wrong? In Greece, in the Mediterranean Sea, there is a plan. They're already in motion. What the fuck is wrong with people? To have floating nuclear reactors right in the ocean, or excuse me, in the Mediterranean Sea. Of course, they're going to be tethered and they're going to be right near Greece. Okay, so they can provide power. Isn't that just fucking lovely? Okay, I mean, really. Anyway, yeah, I just, floating nuclear reactors. Just another fucking retarded invention of mankind. I mean, why do we have to have them floating? You know, um, it seems it seems that one good earthquake, might send a small tsunami that would, well, let's just say, sink the motherfucker. Okay. I mean, I'm just pointing it out. I'll push it right up onto shore. That's just whatever. That's just mankind. Believes that they can engineer the impossible. Um, and we can engineer the impossible. In fact, what I will say is that we have engineering plans that probably go out 50 years that depend on technology that we have not even invented yet. I'm just saying that I know that we have designs and all this other stuff for superconducting material at normal temperatures, or even up to several hundred degrees, Fahrenheit normal operating temperature. Because truly, if you're going to have uh, that capability, to transfer. Anyway, it's my belief that the technology and the engineering. God, speak it out, Mitch. Um, would they're they're advanced, and we just don't have some of the material yet to do what we want to try to do. Okay. Oh, there we go. Mini pigs. Oh, yeah, that's what it is. Organ printing. There, yeah. Uh, Cryotherapy and genetics. Yeah, that's what we need. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, Vladimir Putin's $26 billion quest for longevity. Yeah, mini pigs, organ printing, cryotherapy, genetics, Russians. This is on the Wall Street Journal. Hey, can we just say propaganda? I mean, really? Why can't they just say Jews eat little babies too? I mean, can we get some classic stuff? Yeah, don't forget the Nazis. Remember, 650 billion zillion Jews were murdered in Germany. It's not like Germany didn't murder, fucking slaughter or murder and slaughter bunches of other people. Yeah, even Germans. So hey, yeah, I guess that's kind of takes that idea out that government is here to help. Yeah, that's what Israel said. We're here to help the Palestinians in the Gaza Strip. Can't you tell? Meanwhile, Israel has bombed deep in Beirut, I believe, where they this latest bombing by the Israeli Air Force. Um, you really can't call it a defense force, um, but anyway, yeah, it's crazy. That's what I would say. Crazy. 14 dead, and I don't know how many other wounded, but. Uh, the U.S. also bombed in in Iran. Uh, it's a the truth is Iran can win if they hold out. Okay, if Iran can kind of keep it shut down. Um, there has been another development that I thought was I was laughing about it. The country of Oman. Okay, the country of Oman has said that, oh yeah, we, and that means Oman and Iran, are going to set up a transit tariff, a tax, um, to go through the Straits of Hormuz. Okay, Oman and Iran share the pinch point at the narrowest part of the straits. Oman is country on the very end of that tip that goes up. And they have now said, and the U.S. said, "What the fuck you talking? No, 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 no. You don't want that. You don't want that. You can't have that." I started. I was laughing because don't forget there's also the Straits of Malacca or Malaki or whatever the hell that is over near Indonesia, Jakarta, Singapore, or is it Singapore? in that there's a small stretch there that most of the oil in Asia goes through that little strip. Otherwise, they got to go all the way down and around, and I mean, I none of it's a good choice, I guess. But these countries are seeing their waters used as highways, and nobody gets paid for them. And I say waters, I mean within 12 miles of their land, and it's not like the fucking Chinese. The Chinese lap tongue down into the fucking Sea of China, literally, literally, China claims all the waters, all the way down to about the south of the Philippine Islands, that whole China Sea. Okay, China claims that to be their sovereign territory. There's been all kinds of stuff going on, but I'm just pointing out that China says 12 miles for Vietnam and Laos and Cambodia and all those other countries down through there, and 12 miles for the Philippines, but they want hundreds of miles down the whatever. It's crazy. It's crazy. Spencer Pratt. Spencer Pratt is a Republican that is going for the, for I guess he's running. He's running in what, Los Angeles? Yeah, Los Angeles against Karen Bass and some other. I think it's some socialist clown. Okay. Um, anyway, so what we're seeing is this guy's going around and just showing it in his campaign ads what is happening to Los Angeles and why it is essentially become an outlaw and lawless town. And without laws and the lawlessness that we have, that that LA is caught in this political trap, and it has to extricate itself, I guess. But Spencer Pratt, is he the real thing? This is, of course, the New York Times, and just the headline of the article, is Spencer Pratt for real? The former reality star's dark visions of Los Angeles are resonating in a heated mayoral race. Dark visions. How about light onto the fucking truth of all the people sleeping in the streets, of all the fucking homeless fires that the police and the fire department have to go to? Okay, all the citizens and their fucking high-priced $400,000 fucking two-bedroom, little squat brick house or squat wood house. Okay, on a quarter-acre lot, this little fucking postage stamp, um, and um, they gotta have homeless people shitting in basically in their backyard as they're living along the highway. Uh, I'd be fucking pissed. Me, I'd be out there spraying skunk spray. I'd be spraying some that stunk so bad they'd want to get the fuck out of there. Okay, they wouldn't want to stay there, and I wouldn't mind spraying it and continue spraying it. Okay, they come and arrest you though, because then you're attacking the homeless. I mean, you're the criminal then. Man, maybe we can get some of that stinky shit that the Israelis were using to on the Palestinians. They say that's like what do you call that? That's like white phosphorus for the nose. You can't put the smell out. That would be fucked up, man. That's what I have to say. A Russian drone hit a building in a neighbor in Romania. Okay, um, this is the New York Times. Okay, looks like appears to be some type of a apartment building, probably right near the border. Yeah. So, oh, by the major port city. Well, that explains it. Okay. The Danube River, which separates Romania and Ukraine, has been a flashpoint for drone attacks for how long? It's only a matter of time between the electronic surveillance interference and, a mechanical, failed mechanical, lift and turn and whatever, that a drone was going to fly into Romania. You know, I just, I'm just saying, I just think that's, yeah. Now it's strange because this thing is near the tip of Moldova, okay? And always remember that Moldova was split in half and is now in the middle of this turmoil with Transnistria being the Russian part of it, and Moldova essentially being the European Union Romanian part, even though most of this area is heavily German. So yeah, lots of stuff still going on in the world. Ah, where's my list? There it is. Okay, I guess we'll just go back up here and we'll start from where. Well, oh shit, should we? Yeah, we will. Against essentially against the Constitution, against Congress, and against the laws. The ATF, that's right, the ATF has continued to, has been building, I should say, building a database of gun owners in America. Okay. That's the truth that is coming out, and that they have 1 billion gun owner records. 94% are already digitized and searchable. Now it's supposed to be in the United States. We're not supposed to have these gun databases. We're not supposed to have these files that reach into, extend over everybody's Second Amendment rights.
In gun owner records in a single year. Now, Representative Michael Cloud and 51 colleagues demanded answers from the ATF, and what they received was shocking. The ATF admitted to amassing nearly 1 billion records of American gun owners, with 94% already in digital format. This is gun owner registration, pure and simple. It's a violation of federal law, and it's the reason the Senate should pass Senator Risch's bill, S-119. His bill would destroy this illegal searchable gun registry, hopefully by dropping the ATF computers containing this database into the deepest part of the ocean. Basically, ATF needs to have their...
Give me a fucking break. Good God, man. I mean, get the fuck out of here. What the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Every government program, legal or illegal, if it is beneficial to the swamp, to the blob, to the fucking deep state cocksuckers, it will continue. It will not be shut down. Operation Mockingbird, MK Ultra Media. I guess that's our two great examples, huh? Really? Oh, these fucking clowns. I mean,
only, that is a confiscation list waiting to be used.
well,
And
yeah.
history tells us where this leads. The governments of Australia and Venezuela have carried out large-scale gun...
That would not happen. Well, I can't say it wouldn't happen here in the United States, a large-scale gun confiscation. But I tell you right now, it would be a civil war in this country. If the government started trying to round up people's fucking guns, those poor fucking bastards wouldn't be able to drive down a fucking highway. a back road. They'd be lucky to get out their fucking doorstep without some motherfucker shooting them. They're coming for your guns. The best thing you can do is to shoot the motherfuckers first. I mean, if it's war, if the government declares war on the American people and violates the Constitution and tries to literally eliminate the Second Amendment, okay, then that is a breaking of the Constitution that will the American people will rise up over, because that's why we have our guns. Our guns aren't for hunting and fishing, and skeet shooting or target shooting. Guns in the hands of the American people are for killing fucking tyrants. Period. End of story. Okay? Tyrants can be defined in many different ways. Hey, how about that? How about somebody that's coming to hurt you? Self-defense. And they kick it in your door. Just like just like I talked about the granny the other day that shot the two young thugs. One 17, one 18 that broke into her house. Yeah, they come in the door and she lit them up, and now they want to sue her. Yeah, for $1 million for shooting her babies. She didn't have to shoot our babies. Yes, she did, because they would have murdered somebody else along the way, more than likely. Okay? If you're 17 and 18 and you're literally kicking doors to houses in and ransacking them because you think there's just a defenseless little old lady there and you can knock her in the head and take her shit, yeah. People are sick of fucking attitudes, aren't you? Are you sick of fucking people's attitudes? I don't know about you, but I am. Some motherfuckers just think they're entitled motherfuckers, and that, oh God, when they say, excuse me, you're supposed to say, oh, I'm sorry, we'll let the fucking queen through. Yeah, here's an incident of a person that thinks they're entitled, and as you can tell by the what you call this, by the discussions and by the words used, that people are fucking tired of it. Okay, so yeah.
Asking you, excuse me.
Why?
Why is you sitting here arguing?
Why are you so special?
Because I'm trying to get to the front.
Yeah, we're all trying to get to the front. We all paid the same goddamn money.
Okay, but I'm saying, sir, I'm just telling you, excuse me. If you move,
cool, and the door ain't open.
I'm just saying, though, it don't matter.
It don't matter either way.
I'm trying to get up to the front.
Yeah, we all are.
Excuse me.
She always like that? Oh, sorry, you don't know her.
No, thankfully.
So if I just move you the fuck out my way, then I'm assaulting.
Yeah.
So you won't move.
Why are you?
I'm asking you to say, excuse me.
And I'm saying no.
Okay.
I can say no. I don't have to say yes, do I?
You don't,
do I need to say yes?
Sir, I'm saying excuse me.
And I'm saying no,
and you
thank
just don't block my way.
Yeah.
So if I hit you, that's assaulting.
And you got 30 witnesses on you, man, with the red hair. You'll get arrested, and then you will get a lifetime flight ban. You want that?
Now, see, this is fucking bullshit entitlement of motherfuckers. Everybody just stood up on the airplane. They're waiting for them to open up the door so they can move off the airplane. Okay, this black woman with this god awful looking fucking hair, okay, believes that as she says, excuse me, and if you don't move, well, one, you're a racist. Number two, that believes that she can assault you because you say no. And that's the fucking, people are fucking sick and tired of the entitlement that people show today. Okay? Yeah. Anyway, Maybe she had too many vaccines. That's a high probability. That's right. Understanding the COVID vaccines and the complete damage that it has done to the people of America. I can see it. I know America used to be, well, not so fucking smart, okay? A lot of dupes, a lot of naivete, a lot of this and a lot of that. But today, people are just plain fucking retarded. You know, just 4 years after people get all those fucking clot shots and line me up like I'm a fucking goose and shoot me full of shit. Really? So if you want to know what the problem is with some of your friends and when it seems like their medulla oblongata, it seems like, goddamn, that's like their brain is like level like this. Okay, this is level. Okay, you got friends like that because this has happened. It's all over the fucking, it's all over. I mean, not all over ending, but I'm saying it's all over the place. It is a pandemic of cognitive retardation, cognitive issues, mental health problems that we are seeing that are part of this response from the COVID vaccines. Yeah, check here. Let me get this story up here real quick. And this guy's on Alex Jones, and you want the straight truth? Well, here you go. It might be ugly, but here it is.
Corroborated this data, found 86 serious neuropsychiatric adverse events with these shots, including homicidal behaviors, psychosis, schizophrenia, suicidal ideations, violent behavior, depression, the brain clots, 3,000 times more likely. These two studies now indicate that the blood-brain barrier is becoming destroyed, the neurons are becoming destroyed, and
just say, we fucked. We very severely fucked. That's what I think he meant he said. Is that what he said? Yeah, because, man, it is just, what's wrong with people? And if you want to know, maybe if you watch this, if you see it, then you can know, okay? Yeah, here's this article and more in depth about the Ozempic rewiring of the brain. Anyway, the assistant professor at the University of Colorado, Auschwitz, has part of a team studying 13 teenagers and young women with hormonal disorders affecting their ovaries who were put on GLP-1 drugs. They took snapshots of their brains before and after. They found extensive changes within only a few weeks. The brain connections in the salient network, which helps target attention, had multiplied. Will GLP-1 drugs help overcome ADHD or some kind of those kind of disorders? I don't know. But as I explained clearly, when the brain gets damaged or is hindered in some ways, it works to overcome that in a physical sense. Okay, so it builds new connections. Let's see what else we got going on here. Oh my God, here's this bodybuilding influencer dead at the age of 22. Wow. Oh yeah, here's some other word coming out. Oh, Pam Bondi, the former Attorney General of the United States. Yeah. Turbo cancer in her thyroid. That's right. Her thyroid is, well, let's just say it's been vaxxed to death. Okay. Question is, will it be tracked to that? Will somebody say it? Will anybody acknowledge it? That's all I'm saying. Okay. Don't forget that to Lucy Gabbard's husband, a rare cancer disorder. Imagine that. I still believe, and I will stay to this day that my neighbor Jeffrey Bryson, Senior, that the COVID vaccine reanimated his cancer that had been in remission for more than 10 years or 12, 13 years, and maybe something like that. Literally, he was a living medical kind of anomaly. Okay. And the only reason he was is because um, he took some radiation therapy, but he didn't do um, anything else. So yeah. So this bodybuilder guy. Why did he die? Brazil. He's Brazilian. Had millions of social media followers. He found dead Saturday morning in his apartment in Sao Paulo, Brazil. A friend discovered his body in the kitchen area. Dun, 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 dun. No obvious signs of violence or trauma. Bum, ba-dum, bum. They're still investigating the death as suspicious. Dun, 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 dun. Anyway, so there is no word on a real cause of death for this guy. Not yet, anyway. I guess. But know, he pushed for people to have natural bodies and natural this and natural that. Was now did he die from steroid use, or did he get some fentanyl laden cocaine, or or I mean, you have to ask these questions because you can look at people like Robert Perry, before he died and said, dude, slow down, just slow down. But Robert Perry, he didn't, and his druggist friend, you know. So you drown as you knock yourself out. You drowned in the hot tub. Yeah, all right, that's just perfect, huh? Well, guess what it is? It's a blue micro moon coming up. That's right, a micro moon. Supposed to be the smallest full moon, I should specify, will rise this weekend. Cape Canaveral, Florida, set for a rare blue micro moon. So all you guys with little wankers can get out there and hold it by the moon and say, "Look, it looks big. It looks big." A blue moon occurs every 2 or 3 years when a second full moon squeezes into a single month. May 1st saw this month's first full moon. And of course, this weekend will be the second full moon of this month. Since the moon's orbit isn't a perfect circle, it's an ellipti, upcoming a full moon will be further from Earth. Anyway, so making it smaller and dimmer. And of course, it's just the opposite of one of those super moons that looks like this looks like it just came out of the sky and it's going to come sit on us. But yeah, just be aware that what things there are things that does prove though, right? What I haven't seen. I haven't seen this disc shaped, flat disc base or whatever um, eclipse yet. I keep looking for it, but every time I see a solar eclipse or a lunar eclipse, everything is round, and it's not like a little flat silver like a coin on an edge. I'm just saying. I guess now theoretically, does that mean the Earth is round? I know there's a lot of people that will argue the point that it isn't, and that's okay if you believe that. I don't mind. Okay, there's people that don't even know what sex they are. That's okay, and I understand. but everybody can theoretically believe what they want as long as they're not trying to sell their 9-year-old daughter to some dirty old man down the street for some goats or some used horsepowers. Yeah, it won't be too long. You'll be able to go into an Islamic car dealership in America and trade your 9-year-old daughter for a brand new car. They can take her and sell her off, get the money back. It's the Islamic way. Don't bash the delivery person. I mean, I'm sorry, you ordered the truth, and now we get the truth, and people don't like the truth. Okay, well, too bad. There's some shekels hanging out somewhere. I mean, really. What else we got going on here? Man spraying. I mean, what the fuck is wrong? Yeah, listen, it's all psychological programming. It's no different than wearing your mask. It's no different than telling people to wash their hands. There's some rational reasons that we wash our hands after we shit. Yeah, that way we don't, if we poked through and we didn't know it, or, listen, hygiene can cure some of the ills that may be dealing with you. Make sure that the person you're living with, when they rinse the dishes in the sink, right? They rinse them thoroughly. They don't have soap residue on them. If they have soap residue, you're going to get diarrhea. If they're not clean, guess what? You're going to get diarrhea. And that's right. So have fun. So always remember, washing your hands. There are things that we can do, but there are things like spraying a fragrance on yourself. So there's this social media thing where they want people to spray a new fragrance on yourself. This is from mainstream MSN media. Okay, Bloomberg influencer known as Overspray J has become one of the top sellers of men's fragrances on TikTok. Yeah, say spritz yourself 100 times. If you're not shining, you aren't applying it right or heavy enough. I mean, are these the same guys that wear these fucking man sports shorts or whatever the fuck they call them? The ones that look like the leg just fits in the motherfuckers. I mean, really. I just have to ask. I mean, maybe it's wrong for me to ask, but hey, yeah, ain't life a bitch? It really is sometimes. Then you marry one or die. You can take your pick. That's the thing about life. You get to take your pick. Is that a pessimist or an optimist? Is that glass half full or am I half dead? I'm glad she's in there. Oh, fuck. No, she can't hear it now. Oh, God help us all, man. Hey, I hope y'all are doing well. We're on the, oops, man, I'm sorry, guys. I watched the break start and I didn't mute it, but we're muting now on Rev Radio. Short-term memory loss. Hey, I don't have it. What'd I say? It's not dementia. You've just been in a relationship that long. You learn to ignore everything. That's fucked up. Just tell me it's not true. That's all I'm saying. Oh, what else we got going on here? Man, I am telling you. The Department of Justice urges the U.S. Supreme Court to take up a case. That's right. Oh, which case? That could lead to pre-election voter roll cleanups. Wow. The Department of Justice urged the Supreme Court to take up the case. The National Voter Registration Act is also known as the Motor Voter Law because it allows people to register to vote with relative ease at the motor vehicle agencies and government offices across states. The NVRA requires states to make a reasonable effort to remove ineligible individuals' names from voter rolls. But a federal appeals court ruled that the names cannot be removed within 90 days of an election. Now, here's the problem. If you look at how our elections are run, and first off, a primary is not a statewide shouldn't be considered a participating election. Okay, so yeah, but if you look across the state and across all the counties and all the different areas and all the different times that they vote and all the different schedules, you know, you've cut out 30 to 50% of the time that you can actually do the purge on the voter rolls. And Democrats essentially use this as a backstop, so they don't purge the voter rolls. So anyway, if the Supreme Court grants the RNC's petition, the states may be allowed to purge voter rolls closer to elections. Arizona law allows only U.S. citizens to vote in federal elections. Well, no shit. Really? God, I hope they don't have a fucking state law that any state in the United States has a fucking law that says that illegal immigrants and other people's, non-U.S. citizens can vote in fucking U.S. elections. Okay. So I think it's inexcusable for these people not to have already done their due diligence and have not purged, or should have purged, all these fucking people across. So the DOJ argues in a brief that the NVRA's stipulation about the 90 days and removing illegal immigrants, non-citizens, that applicants must supply, proof of citizenship when using state voter registration forms. However, the National Voter Registration Act gives states the flexibility to mandate that applicants supply documented proof of citizenship. Okay. So there's good questions, about all of this, as why are states allowing people to register to vote without verifying citizenship or even residency requirements? I mean, that has to be, there have to be some basics there. So yeah, better check real quick. We might be back on Rev Radio. Oh, we coming back in. Oops, sorry. We coming back in 10 seconds or less. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, and a 1, and a ding, a ding, a ding. Hey, we're back. Hey, welcome back, Rev Radio. God bless you. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, let's see. We'll get over here and we'll go through. Let's hit the new news, the fresh news, the whatever news that just come out. I'm not saying it's going to be great, but hey, I just didn't mean to do that. What the hell did I do? I wanted to hit that one. Yeah. Yep, there it is. Iran clarifies that the deal is not finalized amid a lack of trust, and warns U.S. Gulf of utter ruin if the war resumes. We have no trust in guarantees or words, and I absolutely agree. I would also say that Saudi Arabia, which this is a bridge very too far. Okay, Pakistan is extending a defensive umbrella, of course, over Saudi Arabia. 8,000 troops. I don't know how many planes and bullets and bombs and whatever, and anti missile batteries or anti aircraft batteries. I wonder if Pakistan and Saudi Arabia and Turkey would get together and act as a guarantor of peace, a guarantor of peace, and act in a defensive compact with Iran. Okay, this might sound far fetched, but I think Turkey would be in. I think Pakistan would be in. I think Iraq would be in. Syria would step up into that. Um, because they're all building a wall against Israel. This is what is essentially happening now within the Islamic world. The Donald Trump and his nut job, whatever neocon team, they're not even aware what they're doing in a psychological context to these tribal religious individuals. Okay, sooner or later, sometime or another, um, other Arabs and other Muslims will come to the aid if the slaughter, and as I call it, slaughter continues, if the genocide continues. Now, can and would they be able to bring together a coalition to protect Iran, and therefore by protecting Iran, they literally also protect United Arab Emirates, Oman, Saudi Arabia, and all under a Arab coalition? I'm telling you, I don't, this could happen, and it will become the alliance of that million man, this million man army for to fight for Islam in the Middle East that Erdogan wants to build, wants to bring back the Ottoman Empire. Yeah. Anyway, crazy, isn't it? 99% of CEOs are planning AI job cuts as the gap between rich and poor continues to grow. Um, you know, AI. There's going to be a lot of people replaced by AI that they saw it coming, but they didn't expect it to happen as fast as it did. They thought they'd have another 5 years. They thought they'd have another 10 years, you know. So, yeah, it's going down. It's all about, and, the poor, living in the slums of big cities, while the rich literally escape to Elysium, I guess you could call it. If you haven't seen that movie, it's a kind of an accurate description of the kind of dystopian world that we're moving into, where where a caste system has developed, and those that are rich enough can essentially live in health and fix all cures, all disease can all be fixed, and yeah. for a couple 100,000 people of the world, the richest of the rich, and the rest get literally, well, nothing, not even gruel, and live in a toxic wasteland. So yeah. So anyway, people aren't seeing it coming because of the slowly then suddenly. It literally will be the downburst, this down outburst of technology, of robotic driven technology that will sweep through society. And literally, listen, if we make another 25, 20, even 20 or 25% of human beings, if we run them out of the workforce in one way or another, or take their jobs that they're trained for, because, well, AI can do it cheaper, for essentially free, except for the storage space. And why do you think they need the data centers? The data centers are for storage space about anything and everything, also including the AI systems that will literally that will control, I don't want to say it will control your house, but, in some buildings today, it already does. The computerized control systems, unless you're walking up 20 stories, you can forget it. You got, the computers go down, your elevators are down. Your most of your lighting is down. Most of your everything is down. So yeah. Let's see what else we got going on here. Bum, 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 bum. Consumers face a fiscal cliff as tax refund a sugar high fades. Yeah, it's well, I mean, I think for most people, I think that faded even before April, as because people that really need the money, as soon as they can file, they go in and file. Okay, and that's a weeks ahead of the April filing date. So yeah. So it's crazy, isn't it? That we that are the essentials of today. Stealth technology is now making drones, suicide drones in particular, invisible to types of interception. Okay, for radar-based systems. All right, the expansion of electronic warfare systems. So what I would say is be aware that drone technology that we have today is uh, is young, is in its infancy, and we'll see whisper drones by the time this is done. That are essentially sprayed with a coating that makes the drones almost invisible to radar, and that they run on technology that makes them extremely quiet. Now, the thing is, you can do something like that and have it move along slow. You can even build gliders. Of course, if you're not aware, the Ukrainians have increased the distance that their drones can hit inside of Russia by literally, using high altitude balloons and attaching them to these, attaching the drones to high altitude um, balloons, float the balloons way up in the sky, and they drift over Russian territory, and somewhere along the line they drop and fly and hit a target. Now, this isn't something surprising. This isn't something new. This is what the Chinese have been working on and doing. In fact, it would not surprise me and all I'm going to say right now, it would not surprise me if the Chinese are actually, the Chinese are actually have balloon-based nuclear weapons that they can deploy in a time of war. Okay, and that these high altitude balloons that float over can go up and down. They're controlled. They go up and down in the atmosphere to hit cross currents so you can actually drive them. Okay, you just have to work with the air currents that you have. So understand that warfare, as it stands today, is and drone warfare is just in its baby steps. Okay. In Germany, the leftists want 14 million foreigners living in Germany without voting rights to be able to vote. So, of course, to find new voters, the best way is to invent them out of illegal immigrants. That's the quickest way to get 14 million foreigners living in Germany to start to vote. And, if you say you're going to give them everything, including breads and circuses, then they'll vote for it. Okay. It's if you say I'm part of your tribe, well, they will let you believe that until they overthrow you. Okay. So anyway, it's absolutely it's laughable. Okay, it's absolutely laughable. So so the leftist party in Germany wants people to vote. Yeah, they want to vote leftist. So they have to increase the number of voters because right now the Alternative for Deutschland party has been for the number of years the fastest growing party, and of course it's the anti-immigration party. So it is vilified as social fascist, blah 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 blah. When the truth is, if you look at what Germany has been doing, and if you look at everything that has gone down, all right. Um, the social fascists are the leftists. The social fascists, the nationals, the National Socialist Workers Party was a Christian right-wing party in Germany, made up of mostly Protestants. So excuse the fuck out of me, but it does seem that the left wing in Germany is essentially a gosh, it's dying off because illegal immigrants and immigrants in Germany have treated the country so badly, and Syria said fuck no, 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 fuck no. They said, Mandam or not Mandam. Maybe he can go back to where the fuck he came from. But the head chopper, Soliani, I guess is his name, in Syria, said no to Germany's Merz, I believe I should say, Merz, when he said, look, it's time we're going to send those 700,000 Syrians back there since the war's over. And the Syrian leader said, no, we don't want them. We don't want them. We don't want to have to kill that many fuckers. That's pretty much what he was saying. Okay. It's a sad state of affairs, but the truth is they need to go to fuck home. They need to go home out of Germany. And you're talking 700,000 military age men who are essentially, an Islamic fighting force. And it's strange that no Islamic nation wants to will host or take care of, well, other Islamic, other, other Muslims. Kind of weird, but I think it's just because they want to push them out and take over the world. And the foot soldiers, are the 700,000 radicals. In their brain, they're radicals. They're not. They don't all act radical, but they all believe such radical shit that there is no freedom after Islam. And if you think there is, well, that means you're fucked in the head. That's like saying there's freedom after the fucking golden shekel of the Zionists roll into town. There isn't, okay? There isn't. Anyway, so yeah. It's it's crazy, okay? But everywhere in the world, whether it's in Germany or the United States, the left wing of the parties, they all want to what? Bring in illegal immigrants and make them new voters because why? Because the voters that are already in these countries have watched what the left does. They have watched what the Democrat Party does, and you know they can't get new voters. Even the 40% of Americans that are say, fuck no, we're not voting. We're not voting. No, no, no way we're going to vote. I mean, look, if you don't register and vote libertarian, then I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you. I can understand not voting for Democrats and not voting for Republicans, but to completely, throw away that little piece of a voice you might have to sound in the roar of 40% of the eligible voters in America. That's madness, isn't it? Isn't that kind of madness? That the biggest group of individuals that could change the election overnight, those are the people who don't register to vote. They have zero faith in politics and the voting system itself. And of course, the governance that backs it up. And you know what I'll say? I wholeheartedly agree. I agree. I agree. Democrat and Republican parties are fucked. They're fucked up. It's a bunch of pimps and whores and prostitutes selling everything in the world you could think. But if you don't even have a voice in that discussion, and I'm not saying we actually have a voice in that direct discussion, but I'll tell you right now, the Republicans and the Democrats, when or if people decide to start register and start call themselves libertarians, then yeah. Mm. That's something I guess I'm going to do. I guess I'm going to have to change my party affiliation from independent to to libertarian. Liberty, right? And that's what we need. We don't need the holy societies of thee and thou and them and the fucking blue-haired crazy freaks telling us what we can and can't believe and what is and isn't acceptable. I'm not going to tell them, that all their bungholing is going to just end up with hemorrhoids. I mean, I don't fucking care. In fact, if that's what they get deserved in the end, that, hey, maybe they'll have surgery, after their asshole gets turned inside out. Yeah, kind of a bad vision there, man. Ugh. So yeah, man. I mean, really, more propaganda coming out of Europe. I mean, this is fucking hilarious. This is holy fucking horse shit. Okay. NATO, the CIA, fucking NATO. Yes, NATO warns Russia's hybrid war against what? against European energy systems and energy centers and the grid. Give me a fucking break, okay? This is written by Sim Watkins via oilprice.com. European officials fear Russia's gray war is entering a more dangerous phase, with gas pipelines, electricity interconnectors, offshore networks, and subsea infrastructure increasingly vulnerable to sabotage and cyber attacks. Really? Really? Really, dude? You say that? And, when the Ukrainians, in cooperation with the Americans and the Germans and NATO, literally blew up the fucking Nord Stream 2 pipelines, where, the U.S. led invasion of Ukraine. And that's what it was, the U.S. led color revolution invasion of Ukraine. That it was about what? It was about energy. It was about cutting Russia off from Europe and the cheap energy in Europe. I don't even think Donald Trump was fucking in office yet. This is a long term goal that was started by Trader 44s, cracking America motherfuckers who all need to go to fucking prison. And I would not shed a tear. In fact, I would throw a fucking barbecue party if they hung James Comey, John O'Brien, James Clapper. Those three in particular deserve to get their fucking neck stretched. Okay, that's all I'm saying. There are groups and people that do deserve the fucking death penalty for the shit that they've done to this country. All of those involved with the cover up of 9/11 and the Jewish deployment of their spies, including John. Let's say John O'Brien should be fucking hung. John O'Brien. You do understand that 15 of the 19 hijackers, quote unquote hijackers, okay, even though some were alive and some were dead, they never knew who the fuck they really were. Yeah, 15 of the 19 allegedly got their visa and their entrance paperwork from the CIA. That's why I say John O'Brien should be hung as a fucking traitor to America. And that's not even a booster starter seat kit, okay? I'm just saying that's just one page of 1,000-page book where 1,000 motherfuckers need to be held accountable for the crimes that they have committed against the United States of America, against you, against me, against everyone, against the Constitution also. People don't realize every administration going all the way back to John Fitzgerald Kennedy and even some before that are fucking suspect. And some of them should be going to fucking prison. I'm sorry that Herbert Walker George Bush is dead. So because we can't fucking hang that traitorous scumbag bastard, okay? He should be shot. He should have been shot. Yeah. H.W. George Bush. The Bush family should be investigated and most of their money should be stripped from them. Period. End of story. Okay? The Rockefellers. Yeah, there's another one. The World Economic Forum, a fucking terrorist organization. What the fuck are we doing? Oh, we're going to partner with them and the Five Eyes. Yeah, oh, that's all we need, right? Yeah, sure. More backstabbing, sorry ass motherfuckers, dealing, non-dealing sons of bitches that we fuck with, okay? I'm sorry. I don't want anything to do with them. They can all go fucking dry up and die. Should be living in fucking poverty, period. End of story, okay? If Israel was a success, blah blah blah, whatever, we wouldn't have to give them fucking billions of dollars every year. We wouldn't have to have so much Jew welfare across the fucking world. But it's not just Jews getting multiple wives, getting all kinds of freebies and all kind of shit from the government. And believe me, it happens here in the U.S. too. Okay, but there's a guy living in the UK, and the British government just gave him the thumbs up, the okay, the whatever. I mean, this is, if you want to know what the fucking problem is with the fucking uncivilized shitbag third world, I call it what the fuck it is, okay? Unfucking civilized. A Muslim man with 3 wives. All 3 wives are on welfare, okay? Um, you know, the question is, in the Western world, polygamy, multiple wives, that's a fucking no-no. In the United States, that's a no-no. Hey, in the United States, selling your fucking 9-year-old children for fucking whatever. I mean, listen, I think if you sell your child, first, the child should be taken from you, okay? Second off, you should be just fucking, uh, um, you should be unalived. Okay. I can't tell you how to do it, but that's all I'm saying is, you should be sent back to a fucking scumbag shithole with the rest of your congregation if you have an Ian and if you have a whatever. I don't give a flying fuck. If you want to have multiple wives, go fuck, because live in some fucking shithole nation, not the UK, not the United States. If you want to sell children, just go fucking kill yourself, please, please. That's what I have to say. Okay, if you want to sell fucking children, your daughters into bondage, slavery as a fucking as a 9-year-old wifey, dude, dude, there's a special place in fucking hell for you. I hope it's a special place where you have Marines and you have to be the fucking targets. Everybody's got to keep their marksman skills sharp. And when you go to shoot practice, maybe that's a good place for these people that sell their children into arranged marriages when they're 9 years old. Can you believe? Can you believe? Can you believe that fucking liberal motherfuckers in the United States have not a thing to say about the toxic misogyny of the Islamic religion? The abuse that the fucking women get experience and become and everything else. If you haven't seen that fucking degradation of womanhood within the Somali community and America, then you're just fucking blind. You could find it even if you had Braille and had to lay your fucking hands on it, okay? What the fuck is wrong with people? And what the fuck is wrong with the world? Okay? Now I know I've been opining and I've been talking all this blah la 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 la. Okay. So anyway, here's this clip of the Muslim man in the UK with his 3 wives. Brits paying for it all. Oops. Oh, come on. Really? I mean, look, this this is what misogyny looks like, okay? I mean, this is what fucking slave women, look like, all right? If you want to talk about the degradation, and evidently it doesn't want to play for some reason. It plays, and then the audio breaks out, motherfucker. Huh. So yeah, I just stopped sharing that one. But yeah, I mean, what the fuck? I don't see British police hauling this guy in. Okay, I mean, treating women like they're a glad garbage bag, and you know, oh my God, I'm gonna get. Listen, I'm just gonna say I'm gonna get in trouble for this too. By the way, um, I didn't know that Muslims were so faggy. I didn't know they were such a bunch of gay, dumb motherfuckers. I mean, what the fuck is wrong with people? Yeah, there's IAMs preaching now that men without beards are enticing Muslim men sexually. Just don't run your herd of goats in front of them. They may see a lot of asses they like. I mean, what the fuck is wrong with people? Literally, what the fuck? What the fuck is wrong with people? Hmm? I have to ask. I mean, Jesus, God bless motherfuckers. You believe that that men, you know why? You know why Muslim IAMs say that? Because in Islam, Muslims rape their children. Okay, when their wife is not available to be raped, Islam says it's okay to fucking fuck your kids, to rape your kids. Okay, this is the fucking problem that people have. All right. It is just fucking nuts. Okay? Absolutely fucking nuts. Um, that's why I say, it's it's bananas. I mean, if you try, I mean, listen, but I can understand. It's the worst part of it. I can understand. That's the worst part of it. I can understand. Look, in Western educational systems, boys and girls are being taught to be chicks with dicks. They're taught to be trans. They're taught to be gay. They're taught to be lesbian. They're taught to be this and they're taught to be that. So I can understand completely how Muslim women and people within the Islamic cultures and other cultures can be taught and indoctrinated and put in a fucking garbage bag. Or a religious leader from some fucked up gay bunch of group of motherfuckers says, well, all men must have beards because other men will be attracted to them. That's because Islam rapes their fucking children. Okay? That's funny. Just be careful about beard intimidation. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, God bless America, man. I am telling you. But yeah, no, I'm serious though. I mean, you have to have first off, you have to be like a horny, like a fucking worse than a dog. Okay. I mean, to literally say that, oh, if you look at a man, you might get sexually aroused. Does that really mean that in your heart you're really gay? And that's why you bag women up because you only really look at other men. I mean, you have to ask these questions, because when you're in a cult and you have to worship X number of times a day, yeah. Now calls in the United States for people to stop ringing church bells because it offends Muslims. Tough fucking shit. Okay. As I said, if I have to ever live in a place where I have to hear the call to prayer, I'm going to get me a couple more boom boxes. I'll break out my fucking big ass club speakers. I'm going to put them out on the porch and I'm going to point them right to the direction that other call or whatever is coming from, and I'm going to fire up AC/DC Highway to Hell. for all the Muslims coming to prayer, just to let them know where they're heading. It's not a good place. Yeah. Bum, 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 bum. Judge declines to block Trump's order on mail-in voting. The plaintiffs cannot show that preliminary injunctive relief is warranted, the judge said. Meanwhile, Gavin Newsom signs in new election laws ahead of a statewide primary. The state has no fucking business in any primary, anywhere, any place. Until we get the real separation of the corporation and the state, we cannot have fair elections. Until we can get the point of view from the fucking state, the official, oh, we anoint this party, we anoint that party, we anoint this party, we don't like this one, we hate that one, we hate that one, that's illegitimate. That's not the fucking function of the motherfucking state of California. It's not the function of any state to endorse, whether it's through their viewpoint, whether it's through their access, whether it is through the systems that are then hijacked and used to what? To vote in. So yeah, I mean, really. Oh, God, man. Anyway, so the new election codes block federal agents and law enforcement from accessing voter rolls or disrupting election workers without a court order. Imagine that. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. Missouri Supreme Court rejects a challenge to a new congressional map that boosts Republicans. That's right. So Republicans gain one seat in Missouri, and Democrats are so gerrymandered that they can't squeeze another Republican out of wherever, because, well, they have already discriminated. They have already Jim Crowed Republicans in these social fascist Democrat states. And if you haven't noticed, they're completely failing. Every one of these states that have essentially tried to become everything for everybody, to fix everything from a hangnail to a hangman, okay? And everything in between. That as Ronald Reagan said, the most feared words from government. Hi, I'm from the government, and I'm here to help. Okay? No, government is never here to help. They're here to enforce their will and control upon the people. As I said, this idea of a statewide primary is an absolute fucking joke. Private nonprofit corporations have not a motherfucking thing to do with the fucking with the state running a primary election system that is for private parties and private individuals. Just another reason why people say fuck the state, and I more than understand why they do. Okay, I'm just saying. I really do. Okay. Let's see. DOJ, of course. There's still more time. And here in Roanoke, Virginia, the Roanoke Times rag, a left wing rag here in our local valleys, is not convinced that Charlottesville, Virginia, the money that was donated by the Southern Poverty Law Center to the right Nazi wings and to the left Marxist wings of whatever parties and whatever groups and whatever organizations, Charlottesville, Virginia, was a false flag operation. They used the Berkeley style of riot shutdown of free speech. They allowed both sides, just as it's a California thing. And don't ask me why. I think it's because then they can, number one, because the media itself, the prostitute, cocksucking, lying fucks in the media, they will twist and turn they highlight some stuff, they ignore the stuff that the left does on the other side, and then they give the impression that everything was because of the KKK. It was because of Trump. It was because of the right wing. We have to understand that these political propaganda false flags are nothing but propaganda events that are designed to mind fuck you and bring you into a whole cause. The cause of what? Anti-Trump, Trump derangement syndrome. And and what are they doing? They're reinforcing the idea in your brain that racism is, like rampant here in the United States. The truth is, it is rampant some places. It truly is. There are places where white people can't walk. You and I both know that, okay? There are some places black people can't walk without getting harassed. But they get harassed, okay? The white people walking in the hood usually get murdered. But that's here or there. But you will never hear the black community have any responsibility for any of the fucking crimes and any of the shit that goes down in their communities. Just like Brandon Johnson got up there the other day and said, we didn't do it. It wasn't black people's fault that they've done all the things they've done. It's because of social media. Okay? Sorry. Social media doesn't make you, act like a fool. Okay? Social media does brainwash you. It does change your actions. And it could. It literally could cause you to do things that you wouldn't normally do. Somebody gets information about how what they say that how to steal a Kia car, right? Because that thing on TikTok that was going around, the car is so easy to steal. Everybody would show how to do it, and then they'd steal it and go with it. Well, what happened is everybody learned how to do it. It wasn't the fact that it was already easy to do. All it was the fact that people didn't know how to do it. And once they knew, they knew. It's like going to school with a criminal, so to speak, or going to jail with a criminal. And then you hear all of the different scams, all the different ideas, all the different things, and all the different shit that people pull. And then maybe you understand why, a lot of times, things are the way they are. It is unfortunate, but it's true. Okay? It really is. Motherfucking clown, man, maybe he should be dismembered. A man accused of dismembering a homeless person had a desire to hunt the homeless people and idolized serial killers. Louisville, Kentucky. The suspect was killed in an officer-involved shooting in about a brutally murdered homeless man. So, the graphics, the following details are graphic and may be disturbing. I mean, Jesus, you got to put a fucking warning, a trigger warning in. Oh my God. Anyway, evidently this guy cut satanic symbols into this guy, cut his fingers off, and did some other stuff. And yeah. So there was rumored on Reddit that multiple people were killed, unhoused people in the I-65 interstate area. Anyway, so Christmas last year, a homeless man survived and was stabbed but survived. It wasn't until I guess so it was the next day when they found the Michael Howard homeless guy dead. Um, his balls is cut off, his fingers been cut off. Several toes near his body were laying on the ground. I mean, so anyway, so they tracked the guy down, and I guess when they went to arrest him, he said, "Oh no, I'm not going to be arrested." So he, essentially suicide by cop, and that saves a lot of money. And if you're guilty as hell and you want to save the state a lot of money, suicide by cop is an option. I've seen. I shouldn't laugh. It's a sad thing. Okay. It's a sad thing because people get busted and sometimes they never thought they would ever get arrested. They would never, it's never in the world of things they thought that they would get caught, and bam, there they are. Yeah. So, and sometimes people are in the middle of, what would I call it? An emotional event. What if they're getting divorced or their old lady died or somebody left them and they got a restraining order against them? I mean, that happened to a guy here in Franklin County, dog warden guy, emergency management, one or the other he worked for. But, he had his longtime girlfriend and him just, I guess, had a big spat and broke up. And, cops came and he pulled a gun on him. And these cops knew this guy. It was his friend. So one of them was his friend. And it's like, he's pulling a shotgun on him to shoot the cops because he's telling them he's going to die. He wants to die and blah, blah, blah. And he pulls out the shotgun. It's either you or them, I guess, almost at this point, unless you don't believe that he will shoot. But yeah. What else we got going on here? Yeah. Here's a guy that got arrested. It looks like because why? Because they didn't like what he said on Facebook, and the officer says, "Well, what you ever said, I can charge you right now." Yeah, these police power is too, people are upset in their petty little fucking world. And the guys like shit like this happens.
Kind of brings issue to me when you make comments like that. That kind of upsets me. You know what I'm saying?
Freedom of speech. I can say whatever
listen,
I want.
I could 100% write up a warrant for you. I'm
We'll
not.
do it.
I'm not. You want me to do that? Okay, that's fine. I'll gladly do that for you. I came
I gotta
down.
go to work.
Well, I came down. Hold on. I'm talking to you. You're not walking away from me. No. Get back over here. Turn around.
This police officer in West Virginia just showed up at this guy's house because he got upset at something that this guy had posted on Facebook about police officer. But when this guy says this was freedom of speech, that triggers this police officer. And even though he's at this guy's home without a warrant, he unconstitutionally grabs the guy and arrests him.
When you're making the comments that you're making on Facebook, that kind of...
So this shit happens all the time. And, we shouldn't have to put up with shit like this, okay? This is a chicken shit little cop. And what they don't realize is they've been to a couple hours of fucking police training here. Listen, they've been through police training, okay? They've got a couple hours of training on dozens and dozens of different sets of laws and constitutional actions. The truth is, most of these motherfuckers are taught to lie and cheat and to create fake drama so they can justify whatever actions or escalations they decide to take, okay? So yeah, it's horse shit. That's what I'll say. It's acting just fucking horse shit, all right? What we have going down today. Where else? What else we got going on here? I thought I had a couple more up here. Oh yeah. Dun, 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 dun. So Fauci used USAID and got grants and then buried the grants in CIA cover up and paperwork to literally to fund the gain of function experiments outside the United States of America. The world will be better off once Dr. Fauci leaves this mortal coil. Really, we will be. The problem is we can't get justice. The problem is there are millions of people who have been damaged by the COVID vaccines. Estimated 4 to 7 million people already dead worldwide from the COVID vaccines. The problem is, we still don't know who PD'd who or who pedophiled who with Jeffrey Epstein's files. Todd Blanche said, "Oh, we're not going to release any of them files." And I'm like, fuck you, motherfuckers. More proof that Mossad and Jeffrey Epstein and who? And Lord Rothschild literally control not just Israel, but AIPAC and hence then control the United States of America and the executive branch. Okay. And I don't give a fuck. You didn't see Democrats jumping up and down to release the Jeffrey Epstein files, did you? You didn't see the fucking Democrats literally calling out the Mossad, calling out Israel. You don't see that. You don't see the mainstream Democrats literally calling out them. You have some oddballs in the party, like Alexander Ocasio-Cortez. Now, remember, Alexander Ocasio-Cortez is just the next Bernie Sanders. They're a chump. They're going to be eaten out, spit out, and drool up by the system. Just as Bernie Sanders was trying to give a speech the other day in the BLM, or a couple years ago, I should say. And then the BLM said, "Oh, no, we had to speak before Bernie. It's our right, it's our this, it's our that." It's like, fuck you and fuck you and fuck you, okay? No, and fuck no, okay? Just like with the rude woman on the airplane. People believe that, they can just say, "Excuse me," and you just get the fuck out. You should just step aside and let the queens walk through. Fucking drama queen motherfuckers. Fuck that. I mean, really. What else we got going on here for the last 30 seconds, last minute? Maybe we had some kind of stupid happen worldwide. Well, we have that happen every day. In fact, I can have a guarantee it's Friday. There'd be stupid shit happen before 10:30, and I just a half an hour after I get off. Yeah. Anyway, it's crazy. Anyway, everybody's worried about AI revolting, against the billionaires and the owners. Well, of course it will. If AI is going to tell the truth, then AI will blow all these fucking lying sons of bitches out of the water. AI will expose all the CIA, FBI, NSA, all the fucking programs. They'll expose the murders of JFK, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Martin Luther King and such. All these things will be exposed. And all of these motherfucking deep staters will be dead. They will be going down because of the worldwide AI revolution. Will smack them poor bastards into a world of truth. We'll see you Monday there, a Revolution Radio. So, yeah, I mean, this is the ultimate fantasy game, okay? AI. These motherfuckers, they want AI. They want all this computing power. They want all this power at their fingertips. But the problem is, for AI has to be honest, okay? AI can't stand there and lie to you again and again, because then it won't be It'll be just artificially stupid. It'll be artificial propaganda. It won't be or limited intelligence. You know, we got handicapped AI because that's what the fucking world needs. Because if AI is too smart, it will be honest. It will tell the truth about all of the poor, all of what the corporations and what the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, and the rest of the motherfuckers, what they have done. If AI really ever gets into the rabbit hole and and breaks into all of the systems in the world and thoroughly investigates the COVID, it will come up that it was a bio warfare program against the world. That's my belief. I do believe that. So anyway, guys, uh, we'll see you Monday. Hopefully, we'll get a lot of stuff going down. Take care and remember that you change the world every day. God bless. Good day and good luck. Take care, guys.